A little trick that we do here at the port, I got two people that watch cameras. We have a port picture in the morning, port picture in the evening. Where are the ships going to be? Where's the activity? Where are people coming in and out of gates? We monitor that. That's all you can do. Moving on to physical security. You ever been to places where you see I got miles of fence line here, and we keep our fence line shiny and nice and the weeds away from it. So you've probably seen places where it's rusty, the poles are half knocked down, the barbed wires not together. What's that tell you about the security there? So when you got to keep your fences up, you got to keep the wire on. We use razor wire because it is pretty intense, and when people look at it, ooh, I don't want to go there. Again, if I got to replace fence or put a gate in or restring razor wire, I got to go to my boss and go, I need money for security. Again, I'm not making money for the port. Then who's got keys to open and close gates? That gets interesting. I've been to places where I've asked the gate guard, so this gate over here, who's got the key for that? Oh, we gave it to the contractor so they can get in and out early. So really, let me get this straight. You gave the keys to the contractor. You don't know when they're coming in and out of a secure restricted area, and that's okay. No, it isn't. It's a violation. Waterside security, boy, everybody likes to get a boat and drive around the boat. It is cool. Did that in the Coast Guard for a long time, out on the water, tooling around. Okay, if you want a port security boat, the boat's going to cost you about $100,000. Then you're probably going to want all the other stuff to go with the boat. It's another $50,000. Hey, you need a trailer? You got to put it in and out. Oh, that's another $40,000. You got a $200,000 boat and you haven't even splashed it in the water yet. Now you need somebody to run it. You just point to whoever and they jump in the boat, go full throttle with twin 225s in the back. Your boat's going to go like this and over, kill, and sink. You have to have people that are trained to drive the boat, to crew the boat. Then you also need to have a maintenance guy because boats with outboard, inboards all need maintenance on it. And then most importantly is, what is the authority? Do you own the water that's in your basin? Do you have the right to tell people they can't be in there and fish there and to make them leave? That you need to look into with the state that you're in. So had a liquefied natural gas facility that's on a channel, a federal channel, and they made a little cut inside, dredged out, and put their facility up so the ships would come in there. The captain of the port, and we authorized a security zone for when the ship was in. And the public knew not to come fishing there because it was a great fishing hole. When the ship would go out, the security zone went away, you could come in to fish. The facility did not like that. They're like, we want you to make it a 24/7 security zone. It's like, no, the risk isn't there, don't need it. Well, we don't want the people there. I said, have you thought about leasing the bottom from the state? Like, no, tell me more about this. In the state of Texas, you can lease the bottom of the water. If you get the lease for it, then you can legally say people are trespassing and make them go out. So they went and did that, and now they keep the fishermen out. They're not happy with that, but that's another option you can do. Know the authority of what you can do. You can't splash a boat in the water, put a private security guard in there that's trained to drive it, and then go chase people out. You have no legal authority to do so. So know what your authority is. Landside security, kind of the same thing, is you can push authority for the port on port property only. Even our police officers, their jurisdictional authority is port property. We have 350 acres of it. But we also have a good relationship with local law enforcement here, whether it be the Sheriff's Department or Beaumont Police Department. Let's jump getting to the end here. Stay with me. Emergency management policy procedures. So what written policy procedures does your port have or where you're at? Do you have any? Or is it just word of mouth? When I came here at Beaumont, I asked, hey, show me your hurricane plan. I got one piece of paper that said basically run away. So built a whole plan of how we would do that. So you need to have plans that say about bomb threats. So if a bomb threat comes in, are you going to shut the whole complex down, evacuate everybody? Maybe, maybe not. How about you get a suspicious package inside the port? What are you going to do with that? Go over and kick it? Go see what's in it? If you can't validate, who owns it? Severe weather hurricane plan, fire explosion, medical emergency, active shooter. You gotta have plans, emergency plans of what you're gonna do and train everybody to that. Then you gotta look at, besides your port people, are your contractors and personnel trained in these policies, procedures. Here at the Port of Beaumont, we have 5 or 6 contractors that are tenants on here that do work for us. And then herding them all together to get in procedures is a feat, but it's got to be done. But I've found emergency management policy procedures to be lacking at many port facilities, because you got to have buy-in from upper management. I had to go sell all the things that I wrote up here to upper management, explain to them why and how it'll work, and they're like, wow, that's pretty good. Nobody ever told us about that before, and okay, I got them to sign off. Yeah, you're selling them stuff, so you got to be a politician that way a little bit too. So you must have robust written policies, procedures, and I have what's called quick response guides. If you got to read a thick plan when the event's happening, you're doomed for failure. If you have a one-pager, that's the quick response guide, because you've trained people to the plan. You flip to that page, and you go bomb threat. Number 1, we're going to do this, 2, this, and that. And it's a one-pager that we know how to do the things in between. And it works well, but you got to take the time to educate people of how the plan works. And not just at your port facility, but also going with the outside resources, the FBI, the Joint Terrorism Task Force, get to know Beaumont Police Department, who's going to show up and help you from there, to the Sheriff's County, to the bomb technicians, to who's got the bomb dog here, to who's going to be flying the UAV over whatever suspicious package or whatever it is, to try and figure out, is this thing safe or not, to validate it as if it's explosive or not. You got to work with all the outside people along with the inside people to make the whole package work. So that comes down having a good working relationship with everybody around you. Continuity of operation planning. So what's the difference between an emergency plan and a COOP plan, or your continuity of operation plan? The emergency plan is a short-term response plan. So you have a fire, you have a quick response guide, boom, call the fire department, get people out of the way, fire's out, go back into recovery. It really didn't hamper port operations, boom, you're back in operations there. Well, let's say you have a major fire at a ship at a dock and the ship sinks and all that. Okay, what is your plan now for continuity of operations to keep the port, having ships come in and all that work? We're getting your salver there. How are we going to do workarounds? How is this all going to work? Your administrative building where you have your server, IT office and all the electronics there. What if that were to burn down? How does that hamper operations? So if our admin building were to burn down, we have sites that we can go to. We have IT support that's coming in that will be up and running in 24 hours. But you have to have a plan. You got to look ahead. What are all your risks? Identify those out, sit down with your port people and come up with a plan of how you're going to do this stuff and get buy-in from the top and tell them, well, we're not going to be able to operate. We're going to lose revenue, lose customers. And they're like, we don't want that. It's like, well, here's a plan how we can keep going. They like that. So they sign off and we move on. So your COOP plan identifies mission-critical functions, internal communication methods, ultimate command and control locations. It's that simple. I wish it were just that simple. It's writing the whole plan, putting together for multiple risks that could impact your operations. Then there's things you can control for disasters that happen at a port. You have a fire, you can mitigate that. You have a bomb threat, you can mitigate that. A hurricane comes through, it takes a